So we're doing a video of
Okay. Tell me
this
when.
ridge now.
Alright, so we're seeing a beautiful range that is called Sirka Danda. Danda means mountain or hill in Nepali. Sirka Danda is a range that goes all the way up to a mountain called Mardi Himal, which is about 5,500 meters, which is the black triangular shaped mountain long before we get to the top of the Machapuchere. Machapuchere, the fishtail mountain, is 6,997 meters in altitude, and Mardi Himal, which is the name of our trek, is therefore about 1,500 meters below the peak of Machapuchere. If you look at that range,
Which
then,
is this one.
yes, then when we look down from that range, go to the left and we go down the range that we are climbing, that is called Nanga Danda. That's our range, and if you can go down that range gradually, so you can show what is the path that we're going to be taking, all the way to the left and towards the little point of view that we are on right now. Now let's go back to Mardi Himal. And go back up to the Machapuchere, the famous fishtail. The fishtail is very impressive because it stands alone. It's a rock that remained after many millions of years of erosion of the Himalayan range. If we look behind it and to the left slightly, we see already the actual Annapurna range, the Himalayan range, which is a wall beyond which we get into the lesser Himalayas and the Tibetan plateau. We see three peaks, one after the other, associated with this Himalayan range, and they are about 7,500 meters altitude on average. The one in the center is appropriately named Glacier Dome, and it's only about 7,100 meters, but the two to both its sides are about 7,455 meters. And if we go further to the left with that really white range, if we go further, we won't be able to see Annapurna 1, which is a part of that range, and that's the highest mountain in the Annapurnas. It's 8,091 meters. It's hiding behind this mountain that we see in front of us called Hyunchuli. Hyunchuli is a very nice standalone mountain, also a residue of what's left after erosion, and we see a very narrow range connecting the Hyunchuli with Annapurna South. Annapurna South is about 7,200 meters, and we see it immediately to the left. If we look at the right side of this Annapurna South, we will see something that is further away, but it doesn't seem that way. It's kind of confusing. It looks as if it's a part of Annapurna South, but it's really Annapurna Phang, another mountain that is further back, that is even higher than Annapurna South. And beyond that, we would be reaching Annapurna 1 again, which would this way connect Annapurna 1 both to Annapurna South and to the Himalayan range of Annapurna that we saw on the right side. So that is the beauty of the Himalayas. If you go further down, looking at the next range, you see how it's like a finger extension that comes further and further down into the deep rivers that carve those finger-like extension. And as you go further, we can see a little village at the side of the mountain. That is called Gandruk, the famous village that people who go to Pun Hill, a tourist destination, people always go to Pun Hill, and on the way back towards the Annapurna base camp, they go through Gandruk. It's a very successful tourist destination, but I don't like to take people towards the highly traveled areas. Mardi Himal is our best kept secret. Nobody knows about it, nobody comes here, and we are all the time on top of the ridge. seeing the view that most tourists don't get to see. So why don't we do just a final panoramic all the way back, show people what the whole range is that we are walking on, and all the way to Machu Picchu and down the other range that is parallel to us, all the way down to the trees. What a sight.
Thank you, Dr. T.